So this is gonna be my first night ride. I got paid Friday. It's currently Saturday night, probably about 9:30. So living out in the country, headed to town to cash a check. I'm not actually cashing, I'm just gonna do a, what's it called? Direct deposit through the ATM. But as you can see, the high beam really does not matter. It just kind of spreads a little bit more, only on the side, but I've done a couple night rides. I've just never recorded one. It can be very sketchy, so I'm gonna be pretty careful for this ride. I need to fix this. There it is. So I started looking into other people's accounts and stuff, and kind of scrolling through their comments. Primarily people that are fairly new to motovlogs, because that's what y'all are probably watching, is people that are new to motovlogs or really nice bikes. But in reality, that's not motovlogs, really. That's just people with a lot of money and they do it as a pastime. I ride because I have four-wheel vehicles. Like, I have 2 trucks, a car. I'm not rich by any means. All of these were, like, one of them was my girlfriend's very first car. I had to trade one of my trucks for it, and I got a really good deal on a little truck, so I bought it. I still have my first truck, of course. But I've lived around people that ride a lot. I've dealt with all the different sides of motorcycles. I've dealt with, my uncle used to race motocross, and he'd make money off it here and there. It wasn't consistent, so he still had a daytime job, but a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of different sides to motorcycles. So you have sometimes my shoulder feels weird. You have the bikers, so like Hells Angels, Banditos, the Gypsies. Like, there's a lot of different ones, and I'm not gonna bash on any of them. They all have their beliefs. They all have what they believe is right and wrong, and nothing I will say will ever change that for them. Sure, I don't agree with some of the stuff they do, but it's not my place to tell them, hey, that's not right. So you have the bikers, you have the people that use it for money, like people that race professionally. You got people that just, I like calling them weekend warriors. So they'll go riding on the weekends through town on 1100 Harley, and they think they're hot shit. They aren't anything. All they are midlife crisis. That's the best way to put it. Now, I'm not saying that this crotch rocket for me isn't a midlife crisis. I think I land more towards a daily rider, not the motorcycle life. But so when I say daily rider, I ride unless it's bad weather. Now, I have a buddy, and sure, he's got a company truck now, but before that, he was a motorcycle lifer. Which, what I mean by that is, he rides every day. Rain, snow, sleet, hot, he rides. He's got a Harley. And that may not be me. I'm not gonna bash him for doing it. Like, he's rode behind me in the rain before. So, like, I know he knows what he's doing. I've seen the way he handles it. This video may look like I don't know what I'm doing. No, this road's just really dangerous. I'm being cautious. And I can't see that far. From the GoPro's point of view, it looks really far. It's really not. Ooh. big bump. So GoPros don't actually give you the full feel of riding. Like, if you watch other moto vlogs, they're pretty close to tailgating. Enough that if it was a truck instead of a motorcycle, it'd make someone uncomfortable. But for a motorcycle, we stop a lot faster than a car. So for us, it really doesn't bother us. When we start coming up to red light, we let off early just because some people panic brake. So when they pull up to the light in their car, they wait till they're almost on the light and hit their brakes hard. We can't hit our brakes hard like that. It'll lock up one of the tires and throw us. Or it'll slide out from under us. So we're a little more cautious to an extent. The reason I say to an extent is because a lot of us lane split. I say us just because everyone that rides motorcycles, we're a community. Like, I'm not saying that you start picking on a guy with a Harley and a couple crotch rocket guys are going to come over and help you. And I'm not saying that a crotch rocket guy won't get in a fight with a Harley guy. We understand what it's like being on two wheels. It's like people that went to the military, they understand what the other one's been through, whether it's big or not. And I understand a lot of them don't actually get deployed, they don't see the shit. But sorry, this is weird. So we know each other to an extent. Not to the extent that I'm going to go walk up to a Hell's Angel and be like, hey, how about I ride your bike? Because we both have the experience. No. I'm saying if I take out someone's mirror and there's a Hell's Angel watching, he's not going to come after me for being disrespectful because he understands I have a reason for it. Now, have I taken out a mirror? No. Do I plan on it? No. The way I see it, I have video proof. So whatever it is, why would I escalate the situation more than I have to? I really got off topic there, but what I was trying to say is, through a lot of the videos, people were asking if motorcycle was a good investment, what gear not to skip out on. And I'm pretty sure I touched base on this before. Never skip out on a helmet. Never. It's one thing to live without an arm or a leg. I mean, my grandfather's got one leg. But you can't live without your head. And I'm not saying just because you wear a helmet, you're going to be just fine. Like, I'm taking a big risk right now riding at night, even with my helmet and my vest. Because I'm not going to wear a heavy jacket when it's 80 degrees out. But I actually checked before I left the house, it said it was 78. Which, that's not exactly true because I ride close to a lot of bodies of water. So like, it feels like it's probably about 72 right now. It feels good. Should I wear my jacket right now? Probably. But my girlfriend's not home right now, it's in her truck. I haven't worn my jacket in a while because I ride early in the mornings and it's hot. Or well, it's not hot in the mornings, it's hot in the evenings when I'm headed home. It's in the 90s and that jacket's made for like winter. But if you're looking at getting into motorcycles, the first step would be, in my opinion, is a dirt bike. Figure out if two wheels is something you actually want to do. Because it sounds fun and it sounds like it's easy. It's honestly not easy riding a motorcycle. It takes a lot of strain on your body. So like any leaning, you put your body into it before the bike. Your body is what controls the bike, not your hands. So that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's not like a bicycle. So to an extent it is. So like the leaning part, kind of. But you still turn the bars a lot quicker. That's why I suggest starting on a dirt bike. It's better to fall on dirt than buy a motorcycle and drop it that day because you didn't know. I started out on bicycles, moved to dirt bikes. My first dirt bike was actually a Honda. I'm a die-hard Honda fan. I know that's kind of contradictory. I have a GRX 600. I just got a really good deal on it. But there's a lot of things people don't understand about motorcycles. Sure, they're fun. Sure, they're expensive. And the maintenance on them's expensive. That's why I suggest getting a dirt bike. A dirt bike's a lot more forgiving than a street bike. Like, if you're riding off-road on a dirt bike and you hit a log, you're going right over it. If I hit a log on this, I'm down. No question. Like, it's gonna take a lot out of me to get over that log without going down. And even then, I'm probably just gonna pull over afterwards because who knows what that could have been. There's a lot of small things that really catch people off guards. So like the other day I was riding home, there's a shoe in the middle of a turn. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you already picked your path for that turn and you take that path every day, it's weird veering off of it. So, and I'll probably post this one real soon. That way I can get that out there. I was actually looking at a couple different people's accounts, and a lot of people were asking if it's a good investment. In my opinion, yes, it's a great investment. Don't expect to get your money back if you ever get out of it though. I have a $500 helmet, and I can tell you right now, I may resell it for $100. It's got built-in Bluetooth, built-in sunglasses, like it's really nice. I got a couple scratches on it because I did drop my bike a while back before I was doing videos. So going under the speed limit. I was just cruising. I'm definitely faster than most of these guys. Yeah, we got construction going out here. Which, if you didn't know, construction zones are only active when there's workers present. So you don't actually have to slow down. Like this late at night, I guarantee there's not a single worker. I'm probably gonna go slightly longer way just because it's gonna be a little safer for me. The other road's really rough. Nothing wrong with a rough road, I just don't want to ride a rough road right now. Also different bikes, they run at different RPMs. So like my first bike stayed about 4,000. This one, I typically stay close to 7, which is almost double what I was. There's a lot of different aspects about motorcycles. I strongly suggest a dirt bike first, just so you can get the feel for it. If you want to put street tires on your dirt bike, go for it. I don't think it's a good idea. My first actual motorcycle had knobby tires. I rode it almost every day, unless I had school, so 3 days out of the week, and then Saturdays. I primarily rode Saturdays just because there was like no traffic. If you're gonna do a lot of night riding and you're just learning, try to find an area with street lights. It's a great way to start. That's what I did. My first bike I rode it around a bunch of street lights. I rode through a neighborhood. I used to live in White Settlement, so I used to ride through that neighborhood, which was covered in street lights. Riding in complete darkness, which it may not look like complete darkness for y'all, but you really can't see much. Living way out in the country, it also makes it pretty hard to see. So you kind of learn to get used to it. My eyes adjust really quick to different lighting. I don't like people behind me though. It gets pretty bright. Especially the newer headlights are all LED HIDs. As you can see, it's hard for me to stay on topic. But don't do your research on different bikes. Like, what's his name? Fort9, I think his name is, something like that. I'll put a link down below for his channel. The guy goes over just about everything you'll ever need to know. I would also suggest going to what's his name? There's another one. My mind kind of went blank for a second. I can picture his face. Yami Nu. He's kind of a funny guy about everything, in my opinion. He's pretty blunt though. So like, he'll tell you the different aspects of like crotch rocket, stuff like that. Revzilla has some about it too. They tell you different sitting positions. So like, of course it feels better sitting straight up, but it's just preference really. I don't like being bent over this far. I have a bad back, bad knees, so these angles kind of hurt over time. Which luckily I don't work far from home. And even when I did, I felt a lot better back then. Not saying I was younger, but certain bikes are a little more forgiving than others as well. So like, a dual sport's gonna be more forgiving. It's gonna give you a lot more capabilities, but every one of them has a pro and con. So sure, dual sports can go off-road and on-road. The issue is they aren't as fast as a crotch rocket. They don't have the power of a Harley. So you kind of have to go off of what fits you, not what looks the best. If you want to just ride what looks the best, go for it. I'm not telling you not to. I picked what fit me the best, which was a crotch rocket at the time. Now, it really doesn't matter. I will probably stick with this crotch rocket for a long time. I actually have two dream bikes. One of them's a Husqvarna 701. I'd prefer the LR, but I haven't even seen a price on one of those. And then a 2013 R1. This is actually one of the first times I've ever rode this bike without a backpack on. But the only reason those are my dream bikes is because I've always wanted a crotch rocket. Now that I've had one, I want one that I actually enjoy the way it looks. I like the idea of two headlights instead of one. But that's me. The 701 is more of getting back to my roots. So like, I've always been big on dirt bikes and stuff like that. And sometimes you get stuck at lights, especially at nighttime, because like no one's coming up behind me. So I may sit here for a while. I'm glad my thermostat works though. When I first got the bike, I was having problems with the cooling fans not turning on. But I got that resolved, got everything fixed up. I am due for an oil change soon though.